Welcome to an introductory video on the Protection of Personal Information Act. The Popi Act is intended to promote the protection of personal information. In South Africa, our constitution gives every citizen the right to privacy. As a law-abiding company that respects its customers' and employees' rights, it's important that we prioritize becoming Popi compliant. If personal information is distributed or processed irresponsibly, these rights can be violated, leaving us vulnerable to things like discrimination, cyber attacks, and identity theft. The Popi Act will help ensure that all personal information is processed securely and responsibly at all times. The Popi Act uses the following terms according to these definitions. This is a data subject, the person to whom the personal information applies. They can be clients, employees, customers, or shareholders. This data subject has a set of personal information, including information relating to the race, gender, sex, pregnancy, marital status, sexual orientation, culture, belief, age, language, physical or mental health, disability, religion, national, ethnic, or social origin and birth of the person. Also, information relating to their education or medical, financial, criminal, or employment history. Any identifying numbers, email or physical address, telephone number, and location. Biometric information, personal opinions, views, or preferences, explicitly confidential or private correspondence, views or opinions of another individual about a person, and the name of the person. Whenever a data subject's information is collected, shared, or used, it is being processed. When the data subject voluntarily and specifically gives informed permission to process their personal information, this is called consent. An operator is anyone who processes personal information for a responsible party. For example, any third-party company Spar employs to handle our payroll. We need to ensure that our suppliers are also Popi compliant. So, who processes personal information within our Spar organization? Within our business, we process personal information within and across all our different departments or divisions. For example, marketing, HR, IT, and even finance. The marketing department processes personal information for bulk communications, including SMS campaigns, newsletters, and the administration of our rewards program. The Popi Act applies to everyone within our organization. Non-compliance puts our customers, employees, and business at risk. If we're found to be violating someone's right to privacy, it puts our reputation at risk, which will damage our business. Data subjects have the right to lodge complaints against us with the information regulator, who can then investigate. If we're found guilty of non-compliance, penalties can include imprisonment, fines, and/or compensation to the person. How will we become Popi compliant? There are 8 conditions of the Popi Act, and they cover every aspect of personal information processing. We must know and adhere to these conditions, including the processing limitations, which are the strict set of rules as to how, why, and when we can process personal information. Here are some examples. When a person has entrusted us with their personal information, we should always inform them of what this information will be used for. Under no circumstances are we to use this information for anything other than what the person initially consented to. We may not use personal information for any purpose not directly related to Spar's business, and a record of all processing must be kept. This record should be accessible should they request it. We must ensure that personal information is protected with the highest levels of security and protection. The processing of information should always be justifiable and minimalistic, meaning that only personal information relevant to our business can be used for purposes that are justifiable in terms of the Act's specifications. We may not send personal information outside of South African borders unless the recipient country has equal personal information regulations in place, the data subject has consented, and the reasons for doing so are justifiable and in the person's best interests. Now that you have a brief overview of the Popi Act and how it affects the way we do business, we need to ensure that we're compliant in every way. For more information, consult the following documents. Alternatively, contact Spar's Information Officer on 031 719 1900.